Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wednesday Call Live. Brought to you today from beautiful Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Now, let's hear it for our special guest host, Terry Edwards.
Woo! What's up, Alliance Nation? It is Wednesday, so you know what it is. It's time for the Wednesday Call, TWC, baby. I am coming to you live and direct from the beautiful Twin City, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I am shared today, super excited about my buddy Quincy Washington being in the studio right here beside me. We have some of our other friends that's going to be jumping on, Mia Fennell, Beth Ireland, Alana McCarter, Cheryl Morrison. We got a full lineup for you on today, and we are super excited. First of all, let's stop what we're doing right now and give a huge thank you, a huge sign of gratitude to our leaders, Andy and Jane Albright. Thank you so much, guys, for this amazing opportunity that we get to call the Alliance, where we can go out every day and make a difference, not only in our own personal lives, but in the lives of countless others by serving our clients and serving the team. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. A big shout out to our other mentor, Mr. Andy Riddle, all the way down in Jacksonville, Florida. Andy Riddle, we appreciate your leadership, your consistency, and we had a blast this past weekend at our Surge event in Winston-Salem. So thank you, sir, for traveling and serving the team the way that you do. And I could not, I thank God every day for Jason and Olga Mathis. It is because I responded to their Craigslist ad that we have been able to come in and enjoy the benefits of being members of this Alliance Nation and just change our family life. So we're really super excited. So down in Fort Lauderdale, hey, mommy, hey, Olga, hey, Jason, we love you guys so much. So we're going to do leaderboards right quick, because this is what we know. People work hard for money, but Quincy, they go the extra mile for recognition.
True.
And we love recognizing people. So these are the people who over the last 7 days went out and did exceptional works. These are the cream of the crop that rose to the top, baby. So let's talk about our leaderboards for this week. So top 3 life producers submit business. Number 3, Mr. Jose Compton. That's right, $22,770 with 15 applications, guys. Whoa, Jose, I see you all over the private Facebook page. I remember meeting you, Jose, when you was first getting started. We met at the private airport last year this time. And to see you struck out, you moved from your comfort zone, you done moved across the country, and you are putting up the numbers, sir. So we're so appreciative of that example, Jose. Number 2, my girl, Stephanie Rodriguez, down in Florida with $24,633 in a week submitted business with 22 applications. Even if you're at the starting contract level, you putting over 12 grand in your bank account this week. And number 1, no stranger to the leaderboards, Miss Megan Wood, $27,932 with 53 applications. So y'all give it up for our top 3 life producers. Now, our top 12 issue paid. So they didn't just submit it, They done got all the paperwork, all the I's dotted, all the T's crossed, and the insurance companies done issued it and sent a commission. So let's go. Number 12, my man, Rob Sarge Wilson, $7,622. Number 11, that's Brittany Winberg, $8,400. Number 10, Miss Jera Gonzalez. Hey, Jera, $9,627. Number 9, Mr. Martez Washington. That's right, newly qualified agency manager too. Martez, I believe he was a truck driver. I see you, driver. $9,682. Number 8, my man, Mr. Jeff Schultz, down there, $9,813. Number 7, that's right, he submitted a lot, but he's getting it issued. Mr. Jose Compton with $11,241. Number 6, my friends, Brent and Jael Swindell, $11,560. Then we're moving up into the top 5. Miss Katrina Gustin, go ahead, Katrina. Number 5, $11,815. Number 4, Kyle and Nina Harry. Now, Nina is 9 months pregnant, still sneaking in it. Like she's going to be writing business on her way to the delivery room. I wouldn't be surprised if Nina don't sneak in an application in between a push. Come on now. There's an app in between the push. If I was a preacher, I think I could preach that message right there. $13,574. Number 3, my man, Eric and Bobby Belair, killing the game. $14,224 with 23 apps. That's smoking. Number 2, 2 of my faves, Jason and Tani Carey, by way of Nevada now. That's right, $16,584. And our top issue paid life producer this week is Miss Megan Wood with $19,556. Our top 5 annuity producers. That's right, we sell life insurance. We also help protect people's money with annuities. The stock market is going haywire, and people are looking for a safe place to put them profits that they've been racking up over the last couple of years. So we put those things in what we call annuities. Number 5, Eric and Jen Fuller. Hey, those are my Instagram people. I watch them on Instagram all the time. I love it. I love you guys' lives. $138,319 in an annuity. Coming in at number 4, that's Cam Yin, $142,000. Number 3, our buddies Brent and Jael Swindell came in with $154,000. Number 2, Nick Greco, I see you, buddy, $219,000. Now that's a good paycheck right there. Hey, Bo, when we was in that other deal, there would have been a lot of Dream Trips memberships that had to make that much money, Bo. Woo! Number 1, Steve Bertelli, part of Lua Body's team, come in with a $250,000 annuity. Good job, guys. Number 3, top 3 Foresters producers. We got number 3, my buddies, Brian and Cristaline Rojas. That's right. We got Pam Moore and Debbie Ben. Good job, guys. Our top 3 CVS life producers. We got Tad Peterson. That's my wife's Tia cousin. They both laugh, like her maiden name is Peterson. So when they see each other, it's always, hey, brother, hey, sister. I like it. Real cute. I love it. I love it. All right. Number 2, Katrina Gustin. And number 1, Kyle and Nina Harry. All right. Top 10 recruiters for the week. These are people who are adding to the family daily, guys. We're in a war against poverty. You know what I'm saying? We're in a war, Quincy. Yeah, we're in a war against poverty. And one of the ways that we're going to win this war is we're going to overwhelm them with sheer force, and we need more soldiers. So these are people who have added more soldiers to the Army this week. Number 10, Terry and Tia Edwards with 2, Ralph DeLena 2, Diana Castillo, 2. Jennifer Camacho de Pena, woo, 2. That was a mouthful right there. All right. Andy Riddle coming in at number 6 with 3. Brandon and Ashley Bill out in California with 3. My man Brandon Manley done snuck in 3. And Vinny Napoli done snuck in 3 recruits this week. All right. Coming in at number 2, Mr. Joseph 2 with 5. And number 1 can't be but number 1. That is Jason and Olga Mathis. That's my upline right there with 6 recruits for the week. So congratulations to everybody who made it on the leaderboards. Also, a super congratulations to everyone who went out this week and moved their business further along the journey. Because guess what? Sometimes there are victories that you have in your life that just don't show up on leaderboards. So you are sitting in your living room, you are sitting on your couch, you're in your car, watching this wherever you may be. Pat your own self on the back for what you did over the last 7 days to move your business forward. And we look forward to seeing you on the leaderboards over the next couple of weeks. Woo! So today we're going to be talking about freedom, guys. Freedom. And we have some warriors on our team that are going out kicking butt and taking names. But just so that we don't get too far ahead of myself, let me make sure everybody know who I am. They be like, who is that fine looking bald man talking to me? So let me tell you who I am. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. So my name is Terry. My wife, Tia, and we are hired into this business by Jason and Olga Mathis, and we are part of Riddle Nation, baby. We are fired up for 2022. My background was in corporate America. I worked in the credit union world, which is a nonprofit bank, so to speak. Banks don't like to be put in the same sentence with credit unions. Just a little inside thing there. But anyhow, did that for 16 years, worked my way up from a part-time ATM runner. Yep, I was the guy before in the credit union world. Sometimes we'd be a little bit behind. So before we use Brinks to go get the money, put the money in the ATMs and take the deposits out. Yeah, I was the guy that had a sheriff's deputy in the passenger seat and another employee in the back seat. We would go and put all the money into the machine once a week. So I'll be riding around in my Chevy Beretta with about $300,000 in all 20s in the back of my car. We'll put it up in the ATM and we'll get the deposits out. The crazy part about it, this was when I was in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. My mileage check for doing the ATM run was more than my wages. We don't make no money. But I tell you, I was learning some valuable skills. May not have been getting paid, but I was learning some valuable skills. So worked my way up from teller onto loan officer, and then all the way up to vice president, okay, over a span of 16 years. My last real assignment, I was the vice president of member operations for a credit union here in Winston-Salem. So basically, I was responsible for every member service, member-facing part of the operation. So that would be tellers, loans, repossessions, foreclosures, collections, everything dealing with the member face-to-face side of the business, that fell under my leadership. But the cool part about it was, although I was always in corporate America, I figured out pretty early that a job was not going to get me free. Not at all. I don't know about y'all, but this was my life. Work 2 weeks, get paid, pay bills. Work 2 weeks, get paid, pay bills. Some people call it the rat race. I don't even know why they call it payday. I used to call it pay through day because it came through my account and it was gone on it. But the crazy part about it was this right here. I was dressed up. Nice suits, nice shoes, smelled good, looked good. And by most people's definition of success, I embodied it. But when I got home and I closed my own door and face my reality. Even though it looked good on the outside, on the inside, I was like, it's got to be another way. It's got to be more to life than just surviving, because that's what type of mode I was in. I was in survival mode, and I wanted to thrive. You see, when you're surviving, you're just existing. But when you are thriving, you are prospering, you are growing vigorously, you are gaining wealth and possessions and influence. I won't have none of that. I was just existing. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to be like a lot of people. A lot of people complain about their situation. I don't know about your social network, but mine is full of complainers. They get on there, they tell their whole life, they're sick of their husband. The girlfriend ain't acting right. The kids are crazy. They complain about everything, but they don't do anything about it. They keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result. They are living in cycles. A cycle is just repeating the same thing over and over again, as opposed to leveling up. So I decided to level up, right? So my pastor, Alana's parents, invited me over to their house one Sunday. And I told my wife before we left, I said, the answer is no before we go. We just going over there out of obligation to be nice. Hopefully they have some good refreshments. Hopefully some chicken wings, hot sauce, and some good soda. That's what I was thinking. But when I walked into that house, I began to meet people. They were part of a network marketing company. And it was all these young people who were talking about traveling the world, traveling that wholesale over retail. They got my ear there. I like to save some money. I'm a little tight. I like to save a dime or two. So you mean to tell me you can ball on a budget? Tell me more. And they were talking about how they are building a business with passive residual income. And they started to teach me about passive income. They used to tell me stuff like this right here. Now, these are youngins that was in college. They were telling me stuff like, passive income is better than money in the bank. I was like, tell me more. They was like, Terry, you need to read this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I got a bachelor's degree and an MBA. So does my wife. I worked in corporate and banking at that time for about 10 years or more, about 10 years. And I had never heard about passive income. And they had me read this book. And the subtopic of this book is what really caught my attention. It says what the rich teach their kids about money that the poor and the middle class do not. And I got intrigued by this book, and it challenged everything that I had heard about money. And a lot of times, things that I had heard from some very successful people. So when I read this book, I was like, when I know better, I can do better. So I started figuring out, okay, I joined that network marketing company. We would pile up in vans. We would drive halfway across the country, about kill ourselves going to sleep. I remember one night it was snowing so bad. We was on our way to Overland Park, Kansas. We left in the middle of the snow. I'm not a good driver at night. I drove about 20 minutes and my eyelids just weighed more than I could bear. But what I remember was chasing the dream, chasing freedom, and doing what we had to do to make it happen. Let me put a pin there. We are having a national convention, January the 20th through the 23rd. All roads, all airways, all train tracks, all Ubers leads to Burlington, North Carolina. This is where the alliance was birthed. Burlington, North Carolina, in the basement of our CEO and founder, Mr. Andy Albright. We all will be in Burlington on this next weekend. So if you need any information, go to www.alliancenationalconvention.com. I even heard that there are some $350 tickets floating around. But even if you have to pay the full cost, I'm going to tell you, it is worth the investment. Invest in yourself, sacrifice to get to this event. We're going to be introducing a new friend of the Alliance, Mr. Mark Acetta. He will be there and helping lead the event. We're going to have, of course, Andy Albright, Integrity Partner, CEO and founder of the Alliance. If you want to meet him, come on to the event. Tim Gold, world-renowned pastor, leadership guru. People call him now influencers. He is an influencer. Come on now. He mentors over 2,000 pastors, and he is a dear friend to the Alliance. Tim and his family, Gay Gold, and I know they're going to sing a song or two. My buddy Andy Riddle will be speaking. Stephen Davies, who from Asheville, North Carolina, he's going to be a keynote speaker. This guy drove from Asheville to Burlington to meet Andy Albright when he was first getting started. He tells the story, Quincy, he was riding on bare tires. It started to rain. He just slid into Burlington. I would be a keynote speaker. Megan Wood, issue paid just under $1 million in business in a 12-month period. She will be there giving you the goods. Mike and Noel Leventovich, they will be there. Marcus and Carla Richardson, Jason and Olga Mathis, Adam Kess, Lottie Dottie, and everybody is going to be there. We want you to come and be with us. We're going to be there, but we would love to have you there. And don't just come alone, because this is the thing. If you want to be successful, go by yourself. But if you want to be significant, you need to bring some people with you. If you do what you got to do, beg, borrow, plead, steal, do what you got to do to get them there. But as we got started with this business, I found this business on Craigslist. I responded to the ad because 2015, I got what I thought was my dream job. I was named CEO of a credit union down in Georgia. Me, Tia, the 3 kids, and she was like 7 months pregnant. We packed up and we moved to Georgia. We left our church, we left our family, we left our comfort zone and all of our support pursuing the dream. I always wanted to be a CEO. Well, long story short, get down there, and it was a situation. They done rescinded the job offer after I done moved down there. I said, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. What am I to do? So, you know, when you're at a crossroads in your life, you got 2 options. You can fight or you can flight. And there ain't no flight in my blood. I'm a fighter, baby. So I got on Craigslist. I know I got a master's degree and all that stuff. I ain't never got on Craigslist looking for work. But I was trying to find some stuff to keep money coming in, pay for this baby that's getting ready to pop out. Well, I responded to the ad. I talked to Jason and Olga Mathis. And that conversation fired me up. I was like, so you mean to tell me that we selling life insurance and you got leads? You got people that's responded back saying that they want what you got. I was like, I'm getting ready to kill this thing. Yeah. In the midst of being depressed, in the midst of feeling insecure, I just lost my job. In the midst of uncertainty, I still believe that I was going to win. Mm-hmm. Somebody need to make a decision right now that you're going to win, that God did not bring you to this opportunity to flaunt it in front of you. He brought it to you to enjoy the benefits, that you are worthy of winning. Okay. So I was like, okay, Jason, you tell me what to do. He said, He said, I need you to get a license. I said, okay, I'm going to get a license. He said, if you do it in 7 days, I'll give you your $49 back for the class. I said, bet. I did it. I finished the class in a day and a half. In the 8 steps to success, Andy Albright talks about if people want to change, you can tell if they really want to change, because people that change fast, they really want it. People that take forever to change, they don't really want it. I was looking for change, y'all. So got my license. He sent me some leads. I didn't know what an A1, an A2, an A3. I didn't know none of it. I just knew they were leads. I looked at it and people had signed it. I said, oh, it's on like Donkey Kong. I got to dialing, honey. I got to dialing on that Sunday. I went out and wrote business on that Monday. And that first 30 days, I put over $8,000 in my bank account. Woo! Now you want to talk about something about building your confidence. I ain't saying money is everything, but it'll show by you a boat and a truck to pull it. It will give you some options, baby. So we got started with this thing. My wife, she still want that on board with it. Okay. She want that on board with it. And she was pregnant and she was hormonal. So I gave her a little grace. But one day, Alana, I guess she caught me on a day where I wasn't as personally developed. So I was going down to the basement to make some dials and she started talking. And it was something that I really didn't want to hear. So she was going in. So I went downstairs, I slammed the door. Boom. Then Mia, yeah, that's cool. So she was yakking. Yeah. So I slammed the door. Boom, I'm going downstairs to dial. I come back up, getting ready to go run an appointment. She picked up right where she left off. I said, look her here. I'm going to do this. And keep it, I done made over $8,000. She was like, you ain't never got us in nothing that we made this much money this fast. I said, well, listen, baby, it's life insurance. It's Mutual of Omaha. If anybody go to jail, it's going to be Mutual of Omaha now. I will snitch on them fools. I'm telling you right now, if anybody going to jail, it's going to be them. I said, but baby, listen, I'm going to do this until you find something else better for me to do. Sometimes you just got to know that even when you don't have everything figured out, you just got a feeling that you're in the right place. You got a feeling that you're at the right time. And you got the feeling that you know what? I'm with the right people. Let me let you know, you're in the right place at the right time with the right people, with the right system. Our leadership is excellent here at the Alliance. We have we have leaders going out serving the team from coast to coast. I mean, from North Carolina to California, all throughout the Midwest, we have great leadership. Our future has never been brighter than it is today.
That's right.
And one of the best decisions that I've personally made has been to build this business. So when I started making money, and then Jason started talking to me about building a business, I was like, okay, I made $8,000 my first month. When I was doing network marketing, it took me 3 years to make $100,000 cumulative. And I made $8,000 my first month. I was like, I'm finna recruit some people. And Tia was like, well, what you gonna do about all them people that you done told that they was already in the best deal? I was like, well, I told them the best what I knew then, but now I know something different, and I'm gonna tell them something different. So I started talking to my friends. I even cut and pasted. They said duplicate and copy the successful people. I copied the same ad that I responded to. I cut and pasted and paid for a Craigslist ad. The crazy part about it was I forgot to take Jason's name out and put my name and my phone number. So my recruits were calling Jason and all that, that was just free for Jason, I love it. But anyway, guys, so then what got Tia on board? I invited her, I convinced her, I bribed her to get her to come to a big event. And at that big event, she met people, she heard the stories, and she got on board, and we've been rocking and rolling ever since then. So we're not just thriving here with the Dream Team. we're not just surviving, we are thriving, and we are chasing freedom at all costs. Albert Einstein says this: freedom in any case is only possible by constantly struggling for it. Freedom in any case is only possible by constantly struggling for it. On our journey to freedom, it's going to feel like you are struggling. Most of the times when we start feeling like we're struggling, we feel like that's a sign to give up. But let me remind you, if you are struggling, you are growing. You're not comfortable until you're uncomfortable. A lot of people say, I don't need to get rich. I want to live comfortable. Joyce McCarter told me the other day, well, if you ain't rich, you ain't comfortable. I said, that's right. But listen, guys, I want to introduce this first girl to me. I didn't think she was going to get on the call today. But this shows her warrior spirit, her commitment to this team, her commitment to the alliance. She ain't feeling good at all, but she looked good still. If I look that bad, if I look that good feeling bad, I would be thrilled. Look at her. She got a little lip gloss on. I see you, Mia. But listen, every now and then, you're going to be doing this business. And while you are plugging along doing this business, you may be having success, but you want so bad for your team to have success. And sometimes you need somebody to come in and validate that, yeah, you can win and I can win too. So Mia Fennell joined our business. We have been friends beforehand, but I'm not going to steal her story. I want her to share it. But this girl is killing the game. Last year, she issue paid over 291 applications last year. She issue paid $181,000 on her own pen. Her team is growing. She now is not going alone. She is creating a culture within her office of GM Wealth Financial Group that's being duplicated, and she got other winners on her team beginning to win. She consistently wins trips. She is the best picture taker that I've ever seen. Over the last 3 years, this girl has put over $500,000 on the table for her over the last 3 years. So I want to introduce you guys to my friend Mia Fennell out in Charlotte, North Carolina. This girl, some of us took this entrepreneurship journey by force. Like, I was fired. I ain't had no other job, so I did it. I was forced into it. Well, she got fired too. So if you have been fired, ain't nothing wrong with you. Just let's get to work. So without further ado, welcome my friend, Miss Mia Fennell, to the call.
Hey, everybody.
What's up, Mia?
What's up? Okay, so y'all know this is not normally me. I think I have a fever too. Like, my body is burning up right now. But I do thank y'all for letting me be on the call today. We have some of the best leadership in the business, period, hands down, with Terry and Tia. So thank you guys for both just allowing me to be here and share with the team. I'm really, really excited to be a part of this journey, because I remember back in 2018, when this whole business had came into my life. You know, I was really going through one of the worst situations that I've ever been through in my life. I was newly divorced. And in the same week, I had lost my job. And I remember standing at the counter of my sink, right in the kitchen. And I was like, Lord, what do you want from me? What do you want me to do right now? Because I've never been this low, you know, and I know that there's a lot of people that are watching right now. You know, you might have your college degree and your fancy job. You know, at 23 years old, I was managing people. I was managing multi-millions of dollars for a very large corporation. So I do have that corporate background. And I was just not expecting to be in a place in 2018 where I had lost it all. And maybe some of you right now are like, okay, I'm at my lowest low. I need a way out. And for me, when I got this phone call from a friend of mine, mutual friend of Tia and Terry's, because we were all in that network marketing company together, he told me, hey, you need to contact Tia and Terry. I don't know what's going on in your life right now, but they're doing something in insurance and you might benefit from it. And y'all, I mean, if you're anything like I was, I just didn't have a choice. You know, I told myself I would never go back into corporate America. I was just over allowing somebody else to control and dictate my life. And I wanted freedom. And when we learned about freedom and what that looked like from that other business, how you can have residual income and you can build something today that would pay you for the rest of your life, that was what I wanted. That's what I desired. And yeah, it didn't work out in that other company, but I'm so thankful that because in 2018, I got the phone call. I'm able to be here with y'all today. You know, I might be sick, but I have agents in the field right now, you know, and we're just really, really grateful. Just really, really grateful just to be here. So a couple of things that I want to let y'all know. When I first came to this business, I started off as just a producer. I was just, you know, my situation needed to get better. So I was one of those people that said, hey, I just want to make money. And I really wasn't concerned about anything else. But you will hear a lot of the top producers, they will say if they could do anything different, the one thing they would change is they would have started building their business sooner. And building the business is really what sets you free. So there's people right now, you know, every week we say that we see their name on the leaderboard. They're doing phenomenal. You know, they're putting a lot of money in their bank accounts, but we really want to be an organization where we're encouraging people to bring other people on board to this idea. Right. It's very, very selfish. It was very selfish of me when I first started to not think it was important that other people had a shot like I did. You know, and I think that a lot of times we get so engulfed in our own life and in our own little bubble that we forget that the only way other people are going to be able to experience the type of journey that we're having is if we just open our mouth. And I'm so glad that one day, you know, Terry kept talking to me about, Mia, what if you get sick? Or what if you can't go out into the field? It's really important that you start building a team. And I'm so glad that I decided to do that, because now there's people that's coming on board, like my own sister, Chelsea Fennell. She's been able to be out in the business and helping families. And to be able to work a business with my sister, like that is amazing to me. A lot of people don't even know what it's like to experience building a business with a family member and it being successful. But us working alongside each other has just been amazing. And then, you know, people like Eli Lazar, who I met him when I first started the business in 2018. And he stuck with me since day one. And now he works with us full time. And Tanisha Staten, who made more part-time working than most people make in a year working at their full-time job. You know, it's just been, and my sister bringing on board Brianna Dorset out of Greensboro, even my girls down in Texas. It has just been an incredible journey. And I'm not going to be before you for much longer because I feel my voice going out. But I just want to say that if you really, truly give yourself to this business, and if you really, truly decide to chase freedom, you can have it here. And I just thank you and Terry, for you and Tia, for believing in me and just this team that we're a part of, because I wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for you guys and how y'all poured into us. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share. And I'm going to go ahead and stop talking because I can't speak anymore.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mia. And like the cool part about Mia is this right here. Like, her situation was bad, but she went to work. That girl was hustling. So we have created a platform that we can give everybody who want to an opportunity to win. And we're going to give them an example of what winning looks like. See, when I got started, Olga's example, she was making $8,000 a month and English wasn't her first language. I'm like, well, hell, if she can do it, I can do it too. That's where I was thinking. Like when you come to the convention, don't think that the people that are winning got something that you don't. When we think that the winners have something that we don't, that gives us permission to stay where we are. We got to figure out what they did. Mia went to work. Mia has qualified for every trip, every year that she's been here. She's been here 3 years, qualified for 3 trips. She ran 20 and 30 appointments a week. I remember me and Mia and Tia would be talking on the phone at 3 a.m. in the morning when she was first getting started. When we was trying to figure it out, when she was, and look, it was funny because I used to tell Mia, I said, Mia, listen, if you're going to worry, schedule it. Like, don't be worrying doing non-income producing hours. That's the time you work. So if you want to worry, I need you to schedule that like after like at least 11. And she would do that. And when she would call, she would be crying on the phone. I'd be like, Tia, I put it on mute. I said, Tia, say something nice to her. Say something motherly. Coach her up. And then I can just come in and say what I got to say. But what I'm saying is she reached up in good times and she reached up in bad times. And to see that she just consistently plugged away. I'm so grateful for you, Mia. You gave me a boost in this business when I needed one because I was feeling stuck. And sometimes new blood, new people rejuvenates you. It begins to make you feel young again, to get around that newness. Yeah. And you begin to believe bigger. And so the next person that I want to talk to, like we're talking about people getting free. Now, I was a by force person. Mia was forced in. And then this girl, Beth Ireland, she was forced in. Now, let me tell you about Beth. When I'm going to let her share her story and how we met in the food court and all that. But Beth Ireland, she had more experience at this than I did. She knew way more than I did. But what I knew was that this opportunity can create cash flow because I was already creating cash flow. And I knew that she liked cash flow. It was the first time I talked to her. I said, yeah, she likes some cash flow. I told her about them leads. Boy, her eyes got big as 5-cent pieces. But Beth Ireland, this year, issue paid over 164 applications. Last month, she issue paid over $44,000 in December. Yes, in 30 days, issue paid over $44,000. She ain't from this big city. She's from a little small town called Hamptonville, North Carolina, where there are more cows than people. So Beth Ireland, if you don't mind, jump on this call and let people know kind of like your journey and how you have fought to stay free. Because it's one thing to get free, but there's another thing to stay free. And I am so proud of what you're doing and how you've been able to stay free. So Beth Ireland, light them up, girl.
Hey, everybody. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Terry and Tia for believing in me. Just like Mia said, I know y'all believe in me sometimes way more than I believe in myself. So I really do appreciate that. And yes, thank you, Olga and Jason and Andy Riddle, and especially Andy and Jane Albright for creating this cash machine that we have and we have at our disposal to run with it, or it's the sky's the limit. There's no limit. So I'm very appreciative and thank you for inviting me on the call. I don't take it lightly when you ask me to say a word or two, because it's important what we do, and it's important how we come across to other people too. And so I've been all morning long trying to get my thoughts together. I've got 40,000 papers here. You know, I love some paper. So, so I hope I'm praying internally to do a good job today. I hope I can give everybody a little nugget or something that they can take and put into application and succeed with today. I met Terry and Tia through that same organization that a lot of you did, that network marketing company, that travel company that we all had a little taste of. So I wasn't direct to them. I was a sideline to them, a cousin to them. I came in under a different organization that was in another state. And so my people there found me a meeting to go to here. And it happened to be Terry and Tia's meeting down in Winston-Salem. And so that's how I met them originally. And just from the minute I met them, they were very warm and open and inviting to me, and always have been. And they had a great group going on, and you could just tell their energy was on fire. It doesn't really matter what Terry and Tia are involved in. You can feel their passion for success and for leading others. They're just great at it, and very blessed to be on their team. So I had lost my job through a layoff. The company I was working for had been bought, and I went there really through a temporary agency. I had been in the insurance business and as a captive agent with a company for a couple of years, and just had got kind of dissatisfied and burned out, and just went and got me a temporary job that turned into a permanent job. That was a payroll specialist position. And, that's cubicle, very detailed oriented, very taxing on the brain, and very fast paced. People, if you're messing with payroll, you got to be, just like this, and you can't mess it up. So it was pretty intense, but I did like it in the beginning because it was new. I like, learning something, being challenged. So, but as I got more and more familiar with it, and it became kind of old hat, I was just like completely bored with it. And I'm like, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. So I guess it was a blessing and a curse and a blessing the day they laid me off. I was happy to leave there because I was so unhappy there, but I was also scared to death. I didn't know what my future held, but I did know one thing, and that was that I had not let my insurance license lapse, and that I still had that. And I knew as I pulled out of their parking lot, and I know this sounds cliche, but I saw that building in my rearview parking lot, my rearview mirror, and I thought to myself, I'm going into the insurance business. I don't know with who or how, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm getting back into insurance. So as luck would have it, a couple of months later, there was a training event with that network marketing company, and I just needed to get my mind right. They had excellent training. I really wasn't interested in getting back into that, but I did want to go to that Saturday training to see what they had to say, because some of their leaders were awesome and had great information. And so I went to Greensboro and went to that training event, paid for a ticket. I actually bought my son a ticket, and then he didn't go with me. So I actually bought 2 tickets that day. I don't think I've ever told Terry that, but so I went, and there was Terry and Tia there, and I'm sure they were there for different reasons, but they said hello, and greeted me at the door. And Terry said, Tia's sitting over there. She was sitting there holding a little baby. It was Taylor had been born. She was about 6 weeks old, and I was running that timeline through my head. I was like, oh my gosh, whose baby is that? Y'all surely not had a baby since I saw you. And time had escaped me. I didn't realize.
It don't take me long, Beth. I snuck it in.
Yeah, right. So she was telling me how they had been to Atlanta, and now they were back here, and I was like, gosh, no way. And I said, hey, I've lost my job, and I'm looking to get back into insurance. And I said, I came down here today because their training is so good. I'm really not interested in this. I just like that culture. And she said, what kind of insurance? I said, life insurance and annuities is what I was in before. And she goes, oh, girl, you need to talk to Terry at lunch. And he's just made $8,000 in his first month in the insurance business. I said, huh? No, Terry's in banking. She's like, not anymore. I ended up going to eat lunch with them over at the food court next door. And he told me all about the Alliance. I was picking his brain for everything. I was like, how'd you make $8,000 last month? And this and that and the other. And so we got myself fast tracked that night. He did. And it's just been, no looking back. So, I tell that because I was looking. I had ridden around with a couple of different agents with different companies. I've been like on a couple of ride-alongs trying to figure out what company I was going to go with, and nothing was resonating. But when they shared the information about the Alliance with me, it just clicked. So so that's how I came to know them and how I came to be in the Alliance. And Terry, I did think I knew a little bit about insurance. So that made me a little harder to coach than the average bear because, I admit it. Terry and I have butted heads a couple of times, and being stubborn doesn't pay as much as being coachable. I will tell you all that. So, be humble, put your ego in your back pocket. When you come on board, take the advice of the people that are winning and don't question everything and fight, but fight to win, fight to be at their table, fight to be recognized by them. We just had a wonderful event this past weekend. Terry and Tia put on Q1 Surge in Winston-Salem. We had leaders like Andy Riddle come, and we had leaders within the Terry's and Tia's organization that just poured from our hearts out. And Jeff Bright was there, and we just it was just a great event to set 2022 up to be a huge success for everybody. And I know I just thank y'all for having that. So I had just come off of probably my best month ever in December. It was a fight the whole month. I'm going to tell y'all, the whole year of 2021, I have let the tail wag the dog. If you don't know what that means, I'll tell you what that means.
Explain it to them, Beth. They don't understand that. We got some city slickers up here.
So I live up here in the country, and we have a lot of slang terms, country terms. I won't tell you all of them, but letting the tail wag the dog means you have let everything in your path wreck your concentration. Okay. And I did. I admit it. 2021 was a struggle from start to finish for me. I don't know why everything just took me longer to recover from. I had just all kinds of crazy stuff going on. And here I am in Aruba with the leaders of this company. And I remember telling Olga Mathis, she asked me if I'd won the trip. And I said, no, I haven't won the trip. And she's like, why not? I was like, I just haven't done what I needed to do. I said, Olga, I need a miracle. And she said, no, Beth, you need an annuity. I said, that would be nice too. So I just buckled down when I got back from Aruba. I was like, there is no way, no how that I'm not going on that trip. I'm going on that trip. I fight for these trips. They're awesome. I've been on a trip to Hawaii and Paris and now Aruba. And I don't know if there's another one I'm missing or not. I think there's one we just all missed out on. But anyway, long story short, they're awesome. And you cannot even describe to someone who hasn't been on one how wonderful they are. And I tell people all the time, I fight harder for the trip than the money. So I just buckled down. I said, I'm going to call all my current clients. I'm going to get extra leads. I'm going to do whatever it takes. Now, I'll give you another little tip there. My son had joined the Army in October. On October 4th, he left for basic training. And on October 1st, before he left for basic training, he got married. Just boom, 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 just all this stuff coming at me. And I'm like, what in the world? And they really didn't have a ceremony. So they planned to have one when he came home, which was the week before Christmas. So in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm home from Aruba. I've got like X amount of time before family starts rolling in and this wedding and he's home and Christmas and I got to move. I got to hustle, so because I know how I am. I love my family. And when they're here, I want to cook for them and sit with them and visit with them. And I knew, that would all happen. So sure enough, time's clicking and ticking and getting closer and closer, and I'm starting to panic when I'm just calling my current clients. I'm calling birthdays. I'm calling annual reviews. And I started reading this book. Andy Albright was talking about this maximum achievement by Brian Tracy. And there's on page 52 in my version, which I think I have an old version because I got a used version. It says, I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me today. Just to keep saying that to yourself every morning when you wake up. I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me. Just wake up with that expectation. Wake up with that belief. Just know something good is going to happen. And I was fighting the negative chit chat in my head. I call it the minutia in my mind. I was fighting that every day. It's like, ain't no way you're going to win this trip. Ain't no way. Oh, yes, I believe something wonderful is going to happen today. And I was just believing that it would. And I couldn't not go on the trip, So anyway, I was doing a current client review. And it was mid-November. Let me back up here and give credit to the Dream Team Sales Academy, because that really fired me up. About mid-November, we got involved with Jeff Bright's accountability group. And I said, I want to be held accountable. And so that really helped me to be accountable for what I said I was going to do, which was X amount of policies in the week. We had a 3 number, and it works. You got a have to, a need to, and a want to. And so you have to do those numbers, and you really need to do the middle number, and you're constantly working toward the want to number, which is the set me free number. And this is sales. And we're going to add recruiting to it as well. So I just kept believing. And I went to that one client there and a policy anniversary. And he looked at me and said, well, I retired, and he retired early. And I said, no, I didn't know you retired. And I said, gosh, you've been over there about 20 years or so? And he's like, yep. And I said, well, did you move your 401k, or have you done anything with that yet? I mean, we had already reviewed his insurance and going through green sheet stuff. And he said, no, I haven't. I really don't know what to do with it. Beth, do you think you might be able to help me with something like that? And I just said, thank you, God. Yes, I believe I can help you with that. So, oh, God got a miracle, So I did. I got a miracle. And then, you get a BAM fam set up with Chris Norris, and he helped me and Terry both helped me to decide what was the best product for this gentleman. We did another interview and got him settled on what we wanted to do. He called me the next week. He had the check from his company. I went and got it and was going to overnight it, and it didn't get there. The post office was so apologetic, and they were going to give me my money back. I'm sure they'd give me back my $27 for the overnight fee. And I was just standing there with tears running down my face. I'm like, I don't even want the money back. I needed the check to be where it needed to be. So then I was like, just for sure, it's not going to happen. I'm going to have a hell of a January. So anyway, it got there and got credited on the 29th. So if you know anything about SILAC, they only buy on Wednesdays, and it caught that last Wednesday. And so anyway, praise God, that one got on 2021. And I'm not going to say it out loud. I'll know for sure at NatCom, but I believe we're good to go. So anyway, that's my best December ever. And it happened with all chaos going on. My son came home from the Army. I got a new daughter-in-law. I even got some bonus grandchildren now. I've got my family rolled in on me. All of them brought significant others, and my daughter brought a dog and a bunny rabbit that lived in my tub for that weekend. And I was like, oh my God, it was just crazy fast going on. And we had a beautiful wedding. We had a beautiful December. We had a beautiful Christmas. And, I sold more insurance in December than any month I've ever. So I was of the mindset that a lot of people have. People don't buy insurance in December. Oh, yes, they do. And there's always something positive in a client review. So my biggest thing to everybody is just stay in touch with your clients. Stay in touch with your clients. You want them to think of you when they think of anything, insurance or to roll their 401ks or to preserve for their future. And you just want to, and Medicare, oh my goodness, that has been huge. huge Medicare business this year, and I'm super fired up about that for next year because I'm just getting a little bit better at it every year that it happens. So, kudos to Alliance for joining forces with a big Medicare team, and I'm sure I've out-talked my limit. But
hey, Beth, I do have one question for you.
Sure.
You know how I roll. If you don't want it to come out, you got to tell me, don't say it. And you ain't tell me not to say it, but I want to ask you, from time to time, in your moments of frustration or indecision, you'll say, "I'ma just go get me a job. I'm fed up with this mess." And then what I always tell you, I don't know where you're going to go. But Beth, do you really think that you are employable?
I am psychologically unemployable. I will admit to that. I wouldn't last one half of a day if an hour on a job right now. They would tell me to pack up and get out because I have gotten a little bit sassy and a little bit used to, the great money that comes in from doing what we do. We are so blessed that there are no limits on our income here. We are so blessed to have this opportunity. And we, I'm kicking myself, just like Mia said. I've been a little selfish. I've put that recruiting off way too long. I've got my daughter in class. She went to Aruba, so fired up. We've got Danielle coming on, working this part-time. Danielle, she's doing great, doing it on a part-time effort. She has had a lot of distractions this year, got married 2 times to the same man, 2 different weddings. That's the COVID trend now. You marry one time, then you marry white.
So it's funny too. We was in Aruba eating lunch. We were at this fancy restaurant. Had the ham hanging over the pole and stuff on the little thing. I guess it was ham. I don't know what it was. Anyway, it was good. Hey, but we told Anna, "Look, Anna, you done been on 2 trips. You got to stop freeloading. You got to get your license."
That's right. So, and it was another funny thing happened in Aruba. We're sitting at the table. We got invited to eat dinner with Linda Goebel and Keith and Amy and her husband, and Anna and I were sitting there, and we're sitting there, in Aruba having this nice dinner, and they said, now I forgot how it came out, but anyway, Anna was like, "I've been to Hawaii and Aruba now with my mom," and I said, "Which one did you like better, Anna, Hawaii or Aruba?" And Linda Goebel says, "Now, isn't that just the nicest question that you could ask your child?"
I love it.
Thank you, Elias and Andy and Jane, for always making these trips just over the top. And I can't be more excited for 2022. I'm fired up. I'm ready to just, take the lid off. And I picked out this song. Terry asked me what kind of song I wanted to walk up to Saturday, and I hadn't had a song, hadn't had an opportunity to pick out a song. And I was thinking, I'm sort of old school, and I like Earth, Wind, and Fire, and I thought Shining Star. And so that's what I walked up to. And let me tell you, that just set my mood for my talk Saturday. And I was listening to it again. I've been listening to it now to get myself going before I dial and such. But, at the very, some of the words in it are just awesome. You are a shining star no matter who you are. And, you can shine bright and, see what your life can truly be is the last line of that song. So I just see what your life can truly be. Just give it all you got.
I love it. Beth, we're excited for you. I told you the baddest thing in Hamptonville, and I still believe that I'm gonna take that to the grave. So I can't wait to see what 2022 has in store for you as you continue to fight for your freedom. And Beth mentioned part-timers. It's so cool to be like Mia was talking about being in business with her sister. Like, I'm in business with one of my best friends, Quincy Washington. And one of the highlights of my entire life was on December 31st, he walked out of his good corporate job into the parking lot. The joker done forgot to turn in his daggone key card. He still got the key card hanging around here now. I'm like, man, take that back in there. But anyway, just to welcome him to the world of the unemployable, for him to chase his dreams. So he started out on a very part-time basis, but his story of consistency and doing this thing on the side is crazy. He's built this thing up, and now he's pursuing full-time. So y'all welcome my buddy, Mr. Quincy Washington. Woo!
Hey, the Alliance team, Terry and Tia both, thank you guys for allowing me to be on this platform today. Andy and Jane Albright, thank you guys for creating this business. Jane, I thank you for giving Andy that freedom to go with their business and just supporting him. Riddle, you know I love you, brother. Appreciate you. Olga and Jason, thank you guys for always being there. Olga was helping me out today, as always. So really, my name is Quincy Washington. I've been now partnered with this guy right here and Tia for just over 6 years now. And it's been an amazing trip. There's been ups and downs, but my background, like Terry, I was in finance and I worked myself way up to senior financial analyst, which my goal was, unlike Terry, I didn't want to be a CEO. I just want to get CFO. So I didn't want that headache. But then I found out the CFO had, pretty much the same headaches. But I really started on a very, very part-time basis. My goal was eventually go full-time, and then I forgot about that dream. It just came. It wasn't going to happen. I wasn't, as co-pastor said this past weekend at Q1 Surge, give yourself permission to succeed. I had not done that. And my faith is still growing in that. But I had started on a part-time basis. I was sneaking dials in on Thursdays and Fridays. I would sneak them in on lunch and then come to Tia and Terry's office, sneak in some more dials just to fill up my Saturday and Sundays. And so it became, once I went through a separation, still going through that separation from my kid's mother. And it became still part-time because I had them Saturday to Saturday. And then it was like, okay, let me sneak this in, but then it was cutting into their time. And so really I made up my mind back in the summer to go full time at the end of the year. And it was still even doubting myself then. I prayed about it, was still doubting myself and what God could do. And I'm not trying to push religion on anyone, but I was doubting my belief. Mm-hmm. And I needed to grow my belief. Mm-hmm. And then so I started borrowing your faith because you've always believed in me. I have a great support system. And Nicole, I know she's watching. Love you, babe. Gotta give a shout out. So have a running mate, not just her supporting me, but also running along with me now. Last week, first week in the field, had an amazing week. Couldn't have asked for a great start. And I asked for a great start. Didn't think it was going to happen because of that belief system. And just growing the team, then also going through that separation, that quiet time, I was asking for that quietness. Mm-hmm. But, you get home from the kids, you want some quiet time. Well, that quiet time was killing me. It was like my situation got really bad. And not having my kids every day, everybody that knows me knows I do anything for my kids. That's, why I'm doing this business. That's why I would work full time and then do this on the nights and weekends, because my kids did not ask to be here, but they deserve everything in the world. Right. And it's my job. That's my responsibility to give to them. And just going through that dark time, I reached out to Andy Riddle because I knew he had been through a divorce through growing this business, and look at his team. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And so reaching out to him, and then he even went a step further and referred Gold to me. Mm-hmm. And I was like, who am I? I'm just I'm not the bottom of the totem pole. And so I had reached out to Tim Gold, and oh my God, Tim, I love you guys. Gay, thank you for allowing Tim to speak to me late nights. And it was a blessing to me. And just having access to him, I never would have had that access to Tim without the Alliance. Right. And that's why I owe this company, my loyalty is here. I had the freedom to walk away back on New Year's Eve, and I'm not looking back. I am unemployable. And Terry, I didn't tell you this. The gentleman I met here the other week, I told him I went full time. He was like looking back, and he was like, well, what if I offered you $44 an hour? I said, no. I said, that's nothing you can do for me. I'm unemployable. You cannot hire me. And so I told him what we making out. He was like, oh, never mind. He was like, oh, never mind. I thought I was about to get him fast track, but we did not.
Well, give me his phone number. I'll come in.
I ain't done. I'm still reaching out to him. So we're all looking at getting his daughter fast track too. But it's been a blessing to have T and Terry in my life. They've been very significant. Terry, I can't thank you enough for when I was going through that downtime, reaching out to me, hey, let's meet up. I know you're super busy, and thank you guys for always reaching out to me and having my back when I didn't have my own. Yeah. And I just so much appreciate that. But I definitely appreciate you guys putting the Q1 surge. I say Q1, but it stands for Quincy. So putting that together, and giving me that platform to share my story is this one. It's been a blessing, and I definitely learned a lot. Co-pastor, I can't thank you enough for speaking on that wilderness, because I spent a lot of time in the last 2 years in that wilderness, not knowing. It's hard to get out the wilderness when you don't know you're in the wilderness. But I did make a decision to get out of my way when Chelsea was speaking, and as of Saturday, and giving myself permission to succeed, man. And I know 2022 is going to be my best year. It's already gotten off to a great start. I will be winning my first trip this year.
That's right.
Nicole, pack your bags because we're going somewhere next year.
I know that's right.
I believe next year's trip is to Alaska.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't like the cold, but I'll be there. Hey, and I'm going to be intentional when I get there. It's going to be a vacation, but it's going to be a vacation when I'm picking people's brains that I don't have daily access to.
That's right, man. That's crazy, because this is the thing, man. So what was it that changed your mindset from just piddling with this thing? And I kept telling you, this is not just something you do on the side.
That's right. This
is your business. This is a profitable business. Mm-hmm. It's yours.
Correct.
So what was that mindset shift?
It was reaching out to Riddle. And speaking to Gold, man, he also built a lot of that in me to get that switch. And what it was is that, and even now looking back, he gave me permission as well to believe in myself. And then looking back, there have been many things I'd done. I was the first one in my family to graduate college. I'm the only one to have a master's degree. So looking back, there were things that I was successful with, but knowing what I had my hands on. Yeah. At that time when I first started, I didn't realize what I had my hands on.
Yeah.
And I guess I was oblivious to it. And that's what it was, figuring out I got my hands on a business, a multi-million-dollar business.
Yeah, you do.
And I didn't realize. So then I started treating it like that. Woo! Like now, even when I left my job,
come through. I'm
unemployed, but now I've given myself another job. I'm here on Mondays and Tuesdays in here dialing. And then when I, reaching out, just being supportive to you guys, talking to you guys every day. I still know my schedule. My schedule is changed now, but I'm still sticking to my schedule. And that's what helped me be successful, even on a small part-time basis.
That's right. All right. We got to move along here. All right. We got two more ladies. This lady fired her boss and didn't know what she was going to do, but she knew she was getting out of there. Look at that beautiful smile. She got $1 million smile. Oh my gosh. Cheryl Morrison, been with us for 8 months. She has the most proper English, duly noted. She say stuff like that. I'd be like, man, that's sad. She said, it's a sad state of affairs. I just love being around her. Energy is contagious. But been with us for 8 months and won an all-expense paid vacation to Cancun in her first 8 months in the business. She is fighting for her freedom. Listen, I got this quote especially for you. Bob Marley. I know you love some Bob Marley. Bob Marley says this right here, Cheryl. It's better to die fighting for freedom than to be a prisoner all the days of your life. It is better to die fighting for freedom than to be a prisoner all the days of your life. Take it over, my friend. Cheryl Morrison, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, thanks, Derek. I want to say thank you to the leadership of the Alliance, Andy and Jane, Andy Riddle, and most importantly, my upline, Terry and Tia. I am so grateful that Tia made that fateful call on that Friday evening and followed up, stuck to what she said she would do, and called me back at 10 o'clock on that Saturday. And on that Monday, I met you guys, and the rest of it from there on is history in the making. So I spent 30 years in the medical field, 20 with a particular employer who I ended up firing about a year ago because he did not he didn't value my worth. I knew my worth. but he didn't value it. So it was time for him to go. So I quit my job. I quit my job and I went home. And from there, I was wondering what I'm going to do next. So rather than saying to myself, what do I want in my next job? I said to myself, what don't I want in my next job? And the one thing that floated to the top over and over was a boss. Because I've been there and I've done that, and it just didn't work out over my whole entire career. And so when I met Terry and Tia and they shared the opportunity with me, I knew that I wanted to do this. So I came out the gate really successful. But, you know, I'm a grandparent of 8 grandchildren, 7 granddaughters and 1 grandson, and they're pretty important to me. So whenever I'm called upon to do something for the grandchildren, it's always a priority for me. And so I spent a lot of time in between working and doing this job, being the grandparent. And I say this to say it's possible to do both. Now, this year I met one of my goals. I won a trip. I had it at the top of my list. I'm getting on that boat, even though I don't know about 10 days on a boat, but I set that goal for myself and I was able to reach that goal. In terms of what I wanted to make, didn't really meet my expectations, but that's 100% on me. That's a whole different story this year. That's not going to happen. So in addition to getting my life and my health license, once I heard about Medicare, I got really excited. Terry was excited. It was just really contagious. Everybody was excited about what Medicare would bring. And so I went ahead and did what I needed to do to become Medicare, get my license so that I could be part of open enrollment. That went really well this year for me. My goal was to do 50 applications. I was able to do 31. And I'm pretty excited that at least I made it halfway, more than halfway to my goal. And I'm really excited about what 2022 in Medicare is going to do for the business that I'm trying to build. One of the things that I've done with Medicare that I just want to share with those of you who, number one, if you're not Medicare licensed, get Medicare licensed. And when you do, Terry called this the white glove service. I didn't see it that way, but it just comes naturally to me. I met one man in particular at the Walmart where we sat and made ourselves available to people who may have questions about Medicare and wanted to change plans or whatever. And when I met him, he had Part A, no Part B, but he wanted a Medicare Advantage plan. So I made an appointment with him, went over to his house and helped him to apply for his Part B. Told him that when he got his card in that says Part A and Part B on it, to give me a call, I'd come back and I would help him with his Advantage plan. Well, he did what I asked, and I went into the home, took care of his Medicare, and from that, I got 9 more policies, 4 in his home and 5 from his daughters. 2 final expenses, 2 IUL expresses, 3 hospital indemnities, and 2 cancer. All because I was willing to give the white glove service, as he put it. So what that totaled was an annual premium of $6,300 and issue paid $29.68 into my bank account.
That's right.
So I am very excited about 2022. I'm very thankful and grateful of the opportunity that Andy and Jane provided to us agents, the leadership over and above that Terry and Tia provides to us as agents, and the support that is bar none the best that I've had in my whole entire career. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak and to share my experience so far with the Alliance.
So you think you're going back to a job, or what you thinking?
I think about it every day, Terry. And every time I think about it, my other self, they say to this self, are you crazy? No, I'm not going back.
Oh, shoot. And Cheryl, you also spent some time in the military too, right?
I did 10 years in the military with one Iraq deployment in 2009.
Thank you for your service. Oh my gosh, we love you, Cheryl. We are so excited. I can't wait to hang out with Robert. Now, Robert is crazy. We're gonna have a good time on that trip.
You just want to fish, Terry. That's it.
What do you say? You just want to fish?
You just want to fish. I guarantee you, we will go to Cancun and he will ask every day, when are we fishing?
I love it. I love it. I love it. So, Cheryl, business is expanding. Just like Quincy's. Quincy's not just selling, he's also building. You know, he got Nicole, he got LaJada, you got Kellyanne that just wrote her first piece of business. Yep. You got Quincy Jordan. Man, it's getting crazy up in here. And this yes, ma'am.
I just want to say one last thing and reiterate what Beth said about the Dream Team Sales Academy. Oh my God, it is a tool that without it, we wouldn't be seeing the success that we're seeing week after week after week. It was brilliant. Whoever came up with that. I am so glad that you decided to participate and ask us to volunteer and do that, because it's changed our business phenomenally.
Well, you know, Cheryl, my thing is me and Tia's whole mission is not to be the guy or girl that knows it all, but the one who's humble enough to say, I don't know everything, I need some help.
Yeah.
And Jeff Bright has been a blessing to us on our team. And it's almost like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, you know, yin and yang. Like we're opposite, but we got one thing in common, that's to help more people. And that's where that whole thing came from. And it wouldn't go anywhere without people who are serious, like you guys, that participate in the Sales Academy every single week and show up and say, you know what, I want to be accountable. So it's everything. It's all of us working together. It's truly teamwork that makes the dream work, baby.
Well, you're batting 1,000 in my book.
Let's go. So this last agent that I want to introduce to everybody, introduce to some and represent to others, her name is Alana McCarter. Her mama and daddy are our pastors, and they had got us in network marketing, and life happened. We kind of went our separate ways. And let me tell you something. I was so full on this past Sunday at church, full of emotion. Let me tell you why. Because for the last 4 years, while a lot of areas of our life was increasing, we knew that our spiritual life was out of balance and we were uncovered. And I don't care how expensive a car is, if you leave it out in the weather uncovered, it will deteriorate. And I was just thanking God that we have reconnected on a spiritual level. And then now we're doing business together. It's like, I know God is pleased and increase is inevitable. And thank you to Alana for being another voice to help speak into the lives of our kids. You just don't know how grateful Tia and I are for you. And not only to stay mushy, but you putting up numbers, honey. You are out here working. You are fighting for your freedom. You are fighting. You are in the fight of your life. And like Albert Einstein says, freedom in any case is only possible by constantly struggling for it. And your constant struggle will pay off. And you're already reaping benefits. You're one of the fastest growing teams on our team. Last night had us on the phone up to 11:30 at night with new people. I am excited about your future, Alana. Alana is one who chose not to be employable, but chose to fight for her freedom. And she is doing just that. And God knows the best for you is yet to come. So Alana, talk to the people about what you've got going on with the team, where you're going, and why you are fighting for your freedom.
Oh, man, thank you so much, brother. And I have to refer to you as Terry, but y'all got to know, him and Tia, that's my brother and my sister. and my friends. So, and my incredible leaders. So I just have to remember when I'm up here, I have to say Terry and Tia Edwards, but that's my brother and my sister. But I'm so excited and I'm just so full, even from just, consistently hearing the testimonies of our team members, starting with you guys down to just how it trickles down. And it just makes me think, and just being who I am right now and just really being the person that God made me. I'm so glad that Andy and Jane Albright were our seeds. They sowed the seed so many of us could harvest. They sowed themselves so that we could harvest. And I'm so thankful for them. I'm thankful for Andy Riddle, so thankful for his organization and that we're a part of it. And of course, Jason and Olga, just having the opportunity to have my first introduction with all of them at family reunion in August was when my eyes got open. And so as Terry was saying, I chose not to be employable because my track record and my history was in ministry. So I wasn't a traditional girl. I went to college, got my degrees, got my 2 bachelor's and a master's degree. Love education, but I never loved being compartmentalized to a set structure schedule, because I'm a creative and I'm really good at a lot of things, like y'all. And it's no lie, like I can pretty much do anything, but I knew that doing anything doesn't make you profitable. And so I had to explore through my journey. I had to keep going through many things. And so my parents introduced me, more so my mother introduced me to the world of network marketing and entrepreneurship. And I saw her be super successful. And the one thing I loved about my mom, love about how she introduced me to things is that we did it together. We always do it together. Like, it doesn't matter. If I can do anything, I know I'm gonna have my mama. And so that means like the most to me is that I'm gonna always have my girl with me. So we started off with, when Terry told me to kind of highlight some things really briefly, I started off with Arbonne back in the day. Ooh. And I was like, okay, I knew that I wanted freedom because I just knew that I didn't want to work for nobody else. So my thing was, if I could hustle to make the same amount that I would make on a traditional job, then I knew I would never have to go to a job. So I just kept proving it to myself through each opportunity. I went from Arbonne, then I journeyed to some traveling that we always connected to. We was broke, but baby, we was traveling real good.
Having fun too.
And we was having a whole bunch of fun. We was broke, but we was taking some real good pictures. Okay. So then from traveling, I got more serious about from the training culture. And to everybody that's watching the TWC, when Terry was mentioning Mark Aceta, he was the trainer for that travel company that we were in. And his training set the foundation for all of us to understand mind exposure and belief system. So from there, so I'm saying all this in my journey, from everything I went to, I took a nugget, right? Mm-hmm. So I took a nugget and grew from each opportunity I went to. So I kept going, boom, got into another company, became a regional manager. It was great, but that wasn't it. Did one more thing, and 3 weeks before God reconnected Terry T and myself and my family, I had just invested $750 into another opportunity. And I was like, this is the one. And the leader was like, you ready? Because you finally home. But I couldn't unpack. And by unpack, I mean I couldn't present myself to settle there to grow. So whatever have you, my dad said he had met up with Terry. He was like, I'm getting my insurance license. And I was like, all right. And literally 2 months before he got his insurance license, I had spoken to another insurance company, a leader in another company, and I was about to sign up with them because I knew that I wanted to be in the insurance industry. And this is no lie. Terry and Tia do not know this to this day. Only my mom does. When I was about to sign up with the other guy, I said, I just can't do it. I was like, I just feel like I'm cheating on Terry and Tia, even though they don't go to our church no more, even though they're not with us. I just can't do it. I was like, if anything, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just have to humble myself. And not that I wasn't humble about it. I was like, I'm going to just have to go talk to them, even though I'm upset with them because they don't go to our church no more. Like, this is what I was saying. I was like, I'm going to have to go talk to them because I need to be in this insurance business with Terry and Tia. I knew it. So literally, I did sign up with the other guy. And then a month to 2 months later, my dad had met up with Terry. Boom, he got his insurance license. So he was the conduit to me and my mom saying, okay, we about to do this because we're doing it as a family. My mom turns around, gets all 3 of her license in a month. She got health, Medicare, and her life all in a month. So I was like, okay, well, I can't let her not outdo me. I just got to make sure I'm with her. So I knew I kept listening to Terry and Tia. My personality is I'm going to listen to you, but I'm still going to kind of do my own thing while listening to you, but I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. I kept listening to Terry talk about how it's so important that you build a team. I know selling is the number one thing because we sell, build, and recruit. I know we do that. But I just kept hearing Terry say, because, if you sick and you're not in the field, then what about, your sales, like, or if something happens? So I came out the gate recruiting faster than selling. So, and I just was determined. And then now I'm in my learning curve with the business, my 4th month in. I'm in that place where I'm getting my structure together, where it's making sense, where I'm understanding what numbers I should be putting on a board to get how many appointments I should run to get a certain, this amount of income, because this right here is my answer. This is home for me. The Alliance is home. Secure Financial Partners, being a part of the Dream Team and Secure Financial Partners under the leadership of Terry and Tia, I would not want to be anywhere else. I have to have come to Jesus meetings once every 2.5 weeks. Yesterday was a come to Jesus meeting with Terry and Tia because I was over it. I was over this business on yesterday, okay? Because I am good on the phone. And I'm okay with being confident with how God has made me. You know why I'm confident? Because I listen to my leaders. I'm plugged into my leaders. And because I'm plugged into my leadership, I'm knowing that sowing and serving with them is going to reap me a good harvest. So I don't sit there and argue for my limitations by saying, oh, I struggle on the phone. Okay, I used to struggle on the phone when I made dials, but I listened to what my leader said on the first day. I fixed it and I got it. So with that being said, booking appointments was never a problem for me. But on yesterday, let me just let y'all know, your girl got her face handed to her in them dials. People was hanging up on me left and right. They was like, oh, you're not coming in my house. I was like, oh, okay. Y'all want to show out today. Y'all really want to cut up. But what you're not going to do is cut through my belief system. You can cut up, right? I might get declined. I might have got declines yesterday, but I still had a win because I still showed up, right? Mm-hmm. I recruited two people yesterday, and then they recruited somebody. So, so I still had a win. I had a win because I tapped into my leadership, right? I had a win because I could have buckled and folded and say, you know what? This like the other stuff I used to do, it doesn't work, but I did it. I leaned in. I leaned into my disappointment, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember the testimonies that Beth Ireland just wrote over $40,000 in a month. I remember that Mia Fennell has written over $500,000 and has property over $500,000 in 3 years. I remember that my brother Q just walked away from his corporate job, and now his counterpart, she's writing business like crazy. I remember that my own leaders, Terry and Tia, in his first month off of Craigslist made $8,000. Like, I remember what the examples that were put before me, right? I said that if they can do it, that means that it's already been done, so I can do it too. So that's just where I am. The future is looking so great for my organization. I have 7 months to my year anniversary, and I will be a multiple 6-figure income earner through personal production and overrides in my business through other unique writers writing with me. That's not me being arrogant, but I believe in this system. I believe in what we're doing. I believe in the training. I believe in the culture. I believe that when you plug in and when you listen and when you do, you don't rebel, you don't rebuttal, you don't make limitations, you don't make arguments, you don't talk about what you can't do, but you just hush and you just do. I know that it's going to pay off for me, and that's the posture that I'm in. I don't want to talk. I just want to do.
Let's go. Hey, listen, our time is up, but we'll be back on Friday with some more how-tos and nuts and bolts and stuff like this. But I did want to leave you with this one last quote from former President John F. Kennedy. The cost of freedom is always high, but Americans have always paid it. And one path we shall never choose, and that is the path of surrender or submission. We will not surrender to poverty. We will not surrender to lack. We would not be submitted to not having enough. We would not be submitted to not passing on generational wealth. We would not be submitted to our children's children not having because we chose not to do. We will not submit. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. We'll see you guys on Friday. It's a wrap. Thank you, Andy and Jane. Thank you, Alliance Nation. We love you. Let's go out and fight for our freedom. Woo!